Hello and welcome back to day three on the Purpose Driven Life. We'll be reading day three, What Drives Your Life? Ecclesiastes 4:4 says, I observe the basic motive for success is the driving force of envy and jealousy. Thomas Clinton says, a man without purpose is like a ship without a rebel, a watch, a nothing, a no man. Everyone's life is driven by something. Most dictionaries define the verb to drive as to guide, to control, or to direct. Whether you are driving a car, a nail, or a golf ball, you are guiding, controlling, and directing it at that moment. What is the driving force of your life? Right now, you may be driven by a problem, a pressure, or a deadline. You may be driven by a painful memory, a haunting fear, or an unconscious belief. There are hundreds of circumstances, values, and emotions that can drive your life. Here are five of the most common ones. People are driven by guilt. They spend their entire life running from regret and hiding their shame. Guilt-driven people are manipulated by memories. They often allow their past to control their future. They unconsciously punish themselves by sabotaging their own success. When Cain sinned, his guilt disconnected him from God's presence. And God says, you will be a restless wanderer on the earth. That describes most people today, wandering through life without a purpose. We are a product of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. God's purpose is not limited by your past. He turned a murderer named Moses into a leader, and a coward named Gideon into a courageous hero. He can do amazing things with the rest of your life too. God specializes in giving people a fresh start. The Bible says, what happiness for those whose guilt have been forgiven. What relief for those who have confessed their sins and God has cleared their record. Many people are driven by resentment and anger. They hold on to hurts and never get over them. Instead of releasing their pain through forgiveness, they rehearse it over and over in their mind. Some resentment-driven people clam up and internalize their anger, while others blow up and explode onto others. Both responses are unhealthy and unhelpful. Resentment always hurts you more than it does the person you resent. While your offender probably forgotten the offensive and gone on with life, you continue to stew in your pain, precipitating the past. Listen, those who hurt you in the past cannot continue to hurt you now unless you continue to hold on to the pain through resentment. Your past is the past. Nothing will change it. You are only hurting yourself with your bitterness. For your own sake, learn from it and then let it go. The Bible says to worry yourself to death with resentment would be a foolish, resentless thing to do. Many people are driven by fear. Their fear can be a result of a traumatic experience, unrealistic expectation, growing up in a high control home, or even genetic predisposition. Regardless of that cause, regardless of the cause, fear-driven people often miss great opportunity because they're afraid to venture out. Instead, they play it safe, avoiding risk and trying to maintain the status quo. Fear is a self-imposed prison that will keep you from becoming what God intends you to be. You must move on against it with the weapon of faith and love. The Bible says, well-formed love banishes fear. Since fear is crippling and a fearful life, fear of death, a fear of judgment, is one not yet fully formed in love. Many people are driven by materialism. Their desire to acquire something, become the whole goal of their life. This drive to always want more is based on the misconception that having more will make me more happy, more important, and more secure. But all three ideas are untrue. Possession only provides temporarily happiness. Because things do not change, we eventually become bored with them, then want newer, bigger, and better versions. It also a myth that if I get more, I'll be more. I will be more important. Self-worth and net worth are not the same. Your value is not determined by your valuables. And God says that the most valuable thing in life are not things. The most common myth about money is that having more will make me more secure. It won't. The wealth will be lost instantaneously through a variety of uncontrollable factors. Real security can only be found in that which can never be taken from you, your relationship with God. Many people are driven by the need for approval. They allow expectation of parents or spouses or children or teachers or friends to control their lives. Many adults are still trying to earn the approval of unpleasable parents. Others are driven by peer pressure, always worry about what others might think. Unfortunately, those who follow the crowd usually get lost in it. I don't know all the keys to success, but one key to failure is to try to please everyone. Being controlled by the opinions of others is the guaranteed way to miss God's purpose for your life. Jesus says no one can serve two masters. There are other forces that can drive your life, but all lead to the same dead end: unused potential, unnecessary stress, and an unfulfilled life. This 40-day journal will show you how to live a purpose driven life, a life guided, controlled, and directed by God's purpose. Just nothing matters more than knowing God's purpose for your life, and nothing can compensate for not knowing them. Not success, wealth, fame, or pleasure. Without a purpose, life is motion without meaning, activity without direction, an event without reason. Without a purpose, life is trivial, petty, and pointless. The benefit of purpose driven living. There are five great benefits of living a purpose driven life. Knowing your purpose gives meaning to your life. We were made to have meaning. That is why people try dubious methods like astrology or psychic to discover it. When life has meaning, you can bear almost anything. Without it, nothing is bearable. A young man in his 20s wrote, I feel like a failure because I'm struggling to become something, and I don't even know what that is. All I know is how to get by. Someday, if I discover my purpose, I'll feel like I'm beginning to live. Without God, life have no purpose, and without purpose, life have no meaning, and without meaning, life have no significance or hope. In the Bible, many different people express this hopelessness. Isaiah complained, I have labored to no purpose. I have spent my strength in vain and for nothing. Job says, my life dragged by, day after hopeless day, and I give up. I am tired of living. Leave me alone. My life made no sense. The greatest tragedy is not death, but life without purpose. Hope is essential. Hope is as essential to your life as air and water. You need hope to cope. Dr. Billy Seal found that he could predict which one of his cancer patients would go into remission by asking, do you want to live to be 100? Those with deep sense of life purpose answered yes, and were the ones most likely to survive. Hope comes from having a purpose. If you feel hopeless, hold on. Wonderful things are about to happen in your life as you begin to live it on purpose. God says, I know what I am planning for you. I have good news for you. I have good plans for you, not plans to hurt you. I'll, I will give you hope and a good future. You may feel that you're facing an impossible situation, but the Bible says God is able to do far more than we would ever dare to ask or even dream of. Infinitely beyond our highest prayer, desire, thoughts, or hope. Knowing your purpose simplifies your life. It defines what you do and what you don't do. Your purpose becomes the standard you use to evaluate which situations are essential and which aren't. You simply ask, does this activity help me fulfill one of a God purpose for my life? Without a clear purpose, you have no foundation on which you base decisions, allocate your time, and use your resources. You will tend to make choices based on circumstances, pressures, and your mood at that moment. People who don't know their purpose will try to do too much, and that causes stress, fatigue, and conflict. It is impossible to do everything people want you to do. You just have enough time to do God's will. If you can't get it all done, that means you're trying to do more than God intended for you to do, or possibly you're just watching too much TV, too much television. Excuse me. Purpose-driven living leads to a simpler lifestyle and a saner schedule. The Bible says a pretended showy life is an empty life. A plain and simple life is a full life. It also leads to a peace of mind. You, Lord, give purpose peace to those who keep their purpose firm and their trust on you. Knowing your purpose, focus your life. You concentrate your effort and energy on what's important. You become effective by being selected. It's human nature to get attracted by minor issues. We play trivial pursuits with our life. Henry Dave Thoreau observed that people live lives of quiet desperation. But today, a better description is aimless distraction. Many people are like gyrocodes, spinning around at a frantic pace, but never going anywhere. Without a clear purpose, you'll keep changing directions, job, relationship, churches, and other externals, hoping that each change would settle the confusion or fill the emptiness in your heart. You think, maybe this time it will be different, but it doesn't solve your real problem, a lack of focus and purpose. The Bible says, don't live carelessly, unthinkingly. Make sure you understand what the Master wants. The power of focusing can be seen in light. Diffuse light have little power or impact, but you can concentrate its energy by focusing it. With a magnifying glass, the ray of the sun can be focused to set grass or paper on fire. When light is focused even more as a laser beam, it can cut through steel. There is nothing quite as brilliant as a focused life. One live on purpose. The men and women who have made the greatest difference in history were the most focused. For instance, the Apostle Paul almost single-handedly spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. His secret was a focused life. He said, I am focusing all my energy on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. If you want your life to have impact, focus it. Stop dabbling, stop trying to do it all, do less. Prune away even the good activity and do only what matters, only that which matters most. Never confuse activity with productivity. You can be busy without a purpose, but what's the point? Paul says let's keep focus on that goal, those of us who want everything God has for us. Knowing your purpose motivate your life. The purpose always produces passion. Nothing energizes clear like nothing energized like a clear person. Nothing energized like a clear purpose. On the other hand, passion dissipates when you lack a purpose. Just getting out of bed becomes a major chore. It's usually meaningless work, not overwork, that wear us down, sap our strength, and rob our joy. George Bernard Shaw wrote, this is the true joy of life. The being used up for a purpose, recognized by yourself as a mighty one. Being a force in nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clock of allowance and agreements, complaining that the world will not devote itself to make you happy. Knowing your purpose prepare you for eternity. Many people spend their life trying to create a lasting legacy on earth. They want to be remembered when they're gone. Yet, what ultimately matters most will not be what others say about your life, but what God says. What people fail to realize is that all the achievements are eventually surpassed, records are broken, reputation fades, and tributes are forgotten. In college, James Topping goals was to become the school tennis champion. He felt proud when his trophy was prominently placed in the school trophy cabinet. Years later, someone mailed him that trophy. They had found it in the trash can when school was remodeled. Jim says, given enough time, all your trophy will be trashed by someone else. Living to create an earthly legacy is a short-sighted goal. A wiser use of time is to build an eternal legacy. You weren't born on earth to be remembered. You were put here to prepare for eternity. One day, you will stand before God, and He will do an audit of your life, a final exam before you enter eternity. The Bible says, remember, each of us will stand personally before the judgment seat of God. Yes, each of us will have to give a personal account to God. Fortunately, God wants us to pass the test, He has given us the question in advance. From the Bible, we can surmise that God will ask us two crucial questions. First, what did you do with my son, Jesus Christ? God won't ask you about your religion background or doctrinal views. The only thing that will matter is, did you accept Jesus Christ? Did you accept what Christ, what Jesus did for you? And did you learn to love and trust Him? Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Second, what did you do with what I gave you? What did you do with your life? All the gifts, talent, opportunity, energy, relationship, and resource God gave you. Did you spend them on yourself? Or did you use them for the purpose God made you for? Preparing you for these two questions is the goal of this book. The first question will determine where you spend eternity. The second will determine what you do in eternity. By the end of this book, you'll be ready to answer both questions. So, day 3 is thinking about my purpose. Point to ponder. Living on purpose is the path to peace. First, to remember, you, Lord, give perfect peace to those who keep their purpose firm and put their trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. Question to consider. What would my family and friends say is the driving force of my life? What do I want it to be? Remember those two questions. What did you do with Jesus Christ? Did you accept Him and trust Him and love Him? And what did you do with God gave you? Did you use it for His purpose? Or did you use it for yourself? Think about it. As always, God love you. May the Lord bless you, and Lord willing, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for reading with me. I too will also contemplate on those two questions. In Jesus Christ's name, thank you for watching.